Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name is Jason Newland. Please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. Yeah. I was just out with Vinny, giving him a bit of a walk, as you do. And he was doing a poo. I can't believe he's starting the podcast by talking about poo. Yeah, I know. But it was funny because, well, maybe not for him. He had how to explain this in a way that doesn't sound weird. Basically, he got stuck and you couldn't release it, so he was running around trying to let it go. But it turned out it was one big, massive, long piece of grass that he'd eaten and not digested. So I had to help him to get it out, which was weird. And it's strange because as soon as he got it out, as soon as he released it, full of energy, jumping around, attacking my feet. It's like he got a new lease of life. But he keeps eating grass, and he loves grass. And he's had this happen a couple of times, but it's very rare. But he eats grass every day. It's one of his favouriteest things in the whole wide world. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure. Today, I didn't visit Uncle Sausages today, but I've spoken to him a few times on the phone, and it's getting, I'm just getting a bit confused of what's going on there with him and what he's talking about sometimes. But he wanted me to go in today, but I couldn't because I did my laundry last night and my clothes were not dry. I'm not going to go out in wet clothes, and also I'm not going to go out in dirty clothes either. So, not in public. It doesn't matter if I'm just going to the park and taking this one out, but I'm not going to go out public facing, as it were. Does that make sense? I'm not going to get on public transport or get into a taxi or go into a hospital with stains on my trousers. Perhaps I should explain what I mean by stains on my trousers. On the front. No, it doesn't make it sound any better, does it? Just, I can be a bit of a messy eater sometimes. And the other day, a couple of weeks ago, I had fish and chips. It was just a portion of chips, actually. And I put a load of tomato ketchup on the paper. It was, from a chip van. And I'm eating the chips, and everything's fine. And I wrap up the paper to go and put it back in the carrier bag that it came in. And the whole thing just collapsed on my lap because the tomato ketchup had soaked through the paper and broken through, and my whole lap was covered in all kinds of weird colours. Most of them weren't there to start with, and it's just like, oh, I can't wear these tomorrow. I can't wear these at the wedding. Sorry, wow, I'll just move on. I can't wear these in public. So yeah, trying to at least make an effort. I mean, I've got 7 pairs of tracksuit bottoms, all the same. So I imagine people that see me regularly, you know, walking his ladyship down there, or that's about it really. So they probably, maybe they think I'm just wearing the same stuff every day, the same pair of tracksuit bottoms every single day, and usually I don't. Well, sometimes I don't. So maybe I need to kind of mix it up a little bit and get some different coloured ones. Maybe some stripy ones. Yellow. What's that sickly green yellow? Illuminous. Bogey. Yeah, kind of like bogey flavoured ones. Yeah, maybe get some of that and look ridiculous. I just think I'd look silly in something like that. I'm sure other people can pull it off, but I don't think I could. No. Plus, I don't really want to stand out. I don't want people to notice me any more than they would normally. So I'm visiting him tomorrow, Uncle Sausages, and I just don't know what to expect, what's gonna happen next. It's just been a little bit drama, and I'm not a medical professional, so I don't really understand if it's to do with why he's in hospital, or if there's more to it. I don't know. Really don't know. What I do know is I don't know how to deal with it. That's, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know. I'm not his relative. I can't take on the role of his son, because I'm not. And because in that situation I would get more involved. If it was my dad and he was saying the same things, I would get heavily involved in, not in a bad way, but I would be involved in every aspect of his care whilst he's in hospital. I'd kind of want to know everything. What medication he's on, why he's on the medication, prognosis, and just everything really. I imagine I'd be quite annoying. I'd be a very annoying son. But then ask my dad and he'll tell you who I am anyway, so hey. Yee-hee! On that one, my dad's doing alright. He's in his third week of treatment as well, so he's called him up at the weekend. He said he's doing okay. A little bit tired, but he's doing alright, so that's good. He's got another week left after this week. And that'll be his 4 weeks of treatment done. So hopefully the results will come in that everything's hopefully things will be sorted. That's as much information as I'm going to go into on that one, but I went into Uncle Sausage's flat today because he asked me to go in there to find something for him. I couldn't find it. What I did find was thousands of magazines. No, like sporting magazines. Not Sporting Illustrated, no. It was because he's absolutely obsessed with sport. Football mainly, then cricket, rugby, golf. They seem to be his 4 main sports. So he's got magazines from years ago, like 20 years ago, programs from football matches that he's attended, all kinds of stuff like that. So if he wants to go home and have home care, realistically, he's going to have to get rid of a lot of stuff before there's even going to be room to have, home care coming in, because the place he's a collector. I don't want to use the word hoarder, but he's a collector, and in some ways I kind of wish that I'd collected more stuff. Imagine how cool it would be to be able to just say, well, you know what, I went to see, who was it that I went to see? Oh, that theatre show in the 90s with Aid Edmondson and Rick Mell, Waiting for Godot. When was that? Was it 92 or was it 93? And I could literally go back and find the ticket stub, or have the programme from that evening, and I find out it was 94 or it was 93. It's like, oh, I see. I mean, I kind of wished I had everything I've ever owned since I was a kid, including all the toys I had when I was a kid. I kind of wish I had all of it. Every single book I've ever read, every single book I've owned. I've not read every book I've owned, but every DVD, every videotape. I mean, there wouldn't be enough room. I'd struggle to fit it inside this building, probably. All 6 flats I'd probably need. I'd need at least, I probably need at least 1 flat just for the books. Possibly 2 flats for the books, if they were just around the walls, because there's 2 rooms in each flat, like bedroom and living room. Because it's thousands upon thousands and thousands of books. Yeah, wow. How cool would that be? Just say, I want to go into the book, I'm going to go into my library. I think I'll go into, how many libraries you got? Oh, I've got one for each year. No, I'm going to go to my childhood library. All the books I had between, 7 and 16, for example. All that period when I was at school, and just go through all of the different books that I used to own. And then add all the books that I read from the library as well, because that's another, few hundred, I suppose. Wow, that'd be cool. And then have all the movies that I've purchased over the years, but then maybe have all the movies that I've ever seen. Can you imagine if all of us did that? We had all the movies on DVD that we'd ever seen in our life, whether it was on TV, at the cinema, on DVD, or streamed, Netflix, Amazon, wherever. Can you imagine how many movies we've all seen each? The thousands and thousands of movies. I mean, multiple thousands of hours watching films or films. Yeah, that'd be cool. But then I think some things I wouldn't really want, like old equipment that I wouldn't, like old TVs that I haven't used for 40 years. I mean, what would be the point in that? Other than a nostalgic kind of trip to see all the different TVs I've had. Because I've probably had a few over the years. Well, I know I've had a few over the years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know, 10, 20 probably. And then, what about all the seats I've had? All the different beds I've slept in? All the socks I've had? And all the underwear? Which brings me to Trivia Tuesday. I forgot what it was. Trivia Tuesday, Trivia Tuesday, Trivia Tuesday. And we're going to talk about underwear. Underwear. So I found 100 historical facts about underwear. So here we go. Before we continue, I'd just like to apologise in advance for any information that's incorrect, because there may be, there may not be, but there may be, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind. Not really, but I'm not going to fact check anything. I'm just going to read out the 100 that I found. So the first one is, and it's the first one. So the first known underwear dates back over 7,000 years. Made from leather and worn like a loincloth. Sounds, what was that? From Anne Summers, maybe? Number 2, ancient Egyptians wore a linen garment called a shenty, similar to a loincloth. I wonder how many times the word loincloth is going to be used during this here particular recording. I don't know. I really don't know. Roman men wore a cloth wrap named a subligaculum under their tunics. Okie doke. I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? Because if you're wearing a tunic, which is basically a little skirt, isn't it? And you're going to want to keep I suppose you're going to want to keep parts warm. Maybe. Have you ever worn woolen underwear? Is there any such thing as woolen underwear? You know, like wool that you make a hat out of, or gloves. Woolly gloves. That'd be itchy, wouldn't it? Right. Medieval knights wore padded underwear called gambesons under armour. Or armour. Armour. Padded underwear. Were they showing off? Pretending there was more there than there was. Typical medieval knight. Oh yeah. Queen Elizabeth I had her underwear washed once every few weeks. Considered hygienic then. Once every few weeks. That's the thing, you know, you sort of sometimes, I don't know about you, but I think what it'd be like to go back in time and meet some of the beautiful people from the past, you know, hundreds of years ago. But the fact is, they'd stink, wouldn't they? They'd absolutely stink. If you went back 200 years, even 300 years, when they didn't even know, people didn't even use soap. There was a time when people didn't use soap. They just put perfume on themselves, thinking that if they got rid of the stench, then they'd cleaned themselves. God, it'd be smelly. In the Victorian era, underwear was referred to as unmentionables. I remember hearing that term when I was a kid. Mind you, that was just about my underwear. Yeah, everyone else's was just called underpants. Mine were just unmentionables. It was like code for Jason's underwear. We need to get him to a doctor, find out what's going on. Corsets in the 1800s sometimes caused fainting due to restricted breathing. It's worth it though, isn't it? It's worth it. Does anyone wear spandex? I saw a picture of someone the other day wearing spandex and they looked slim. And then they took the spandex off and they weren't slim. So I thought, maybe I'll start wearing some spandex. Because I don't know, I'll just look slimmer. Maybe a girdle. Ooh, a nice little girdle. What do you reckon? I mean, isn't a girdle just a corset? Isn't this another thing, another name for corset? I quite like corsets, but they are restrictive. And they take ages to do up. And it's a two-man job, isn't it? How do you... Because it's not like a bra, where you can just put the bra on backwards and then just turn it around. You can't really do that with a corset. It's definitely... You need 4 hands for a corset. Yeah. I know a lot about corsets for some reason. Corsets cause fainting, but it's worth it. Wow, that is so sexist. The word lingerie or lingerie comes from the French word ling or long, meaning linen. I do apologise if you can hear the gobbies in the garden. Rah, 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 rah. Rah, 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 rah. Rah, 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 rah. It's nothing I can do about it. And now the tree's been cut down, so it's even louder now. The tree seemed to muffle it a little bit. I think they probably wanted the tree cut down, so because they weren't able to get the loudness that they required. Possibly. Men didn't start wearing underpants with legs until the 1920s. How would it work if it didn't have legs? What, there was just... you're going to have to explain this to me. So it was just... Basically, you could put them on any way and it'd be the same. You could put them on over your head and just put them down your body, and what would be the point? Well, I suppose it would stop the front bit, but what about the... It wouldn't catch any... No, I'm not saying underwear's there to catch stuff. Wow. But... You know, the bra wasn't patented until 1914 by Mary Phelps Jacob. I wonder why. I was going to do 100 facts on bras, but I thought, I don't know if that might be a bit of a weird thing for a man to be talking about. So I decided I'd do it next week. Wonder how much Mary Phelps Jacob made out of that patent. I'm pretty sure bras have been around a long time as well, because I mean, I didn't ask my nan about bras, but I assume she had a bra when she was young, and she was born in the 1800s or something. I just assumed they'd been around for hundreds of years. So, this is materials and design facts. Cotton is the most commonly used fabric for underwear. It's breathable, isn't it? I think that's what it is. It's You don't want something like leather. Obviously we've all worn leather underpants, haven't we? It looks nice, but it doesn't feel so nice, personally. It's like leather trousers. I bought some leather trousers when I was about 16, and I got them on. They were popular at the time. Not my particular leather trousers, but in general, it was kind of a bit of a fashion. But there was a technique where they would put talcum powder on their legs, or inside the inside leg, before putting them on, so then they could get them off easier. I didn't do that. I got confused. I thought they said super glue. So yeah, still wearing them. It's very uncomfortable. Just in every aspect. No comfort. I mean, I suppose it's quite good if you want to show off your bum. But other than that, or legs, I mean, I was pretty much had skinny legs anyway. But no, leather trousers, no. Tried 501s, and they were also ones that you'd shrink, and they were practically impossible to get off. Like, what's this about? Why? Someone tell me why. Right. Bamboo is an increasingly popular fabric for eco-friendly pants. Really? Okay, so really? So we find a bear. Yeah, we find a bear that actually will not hurt a human. The panda bear. They're lovely and they won't hurt a human. Then what do? We make clothes out of the not polar bear, what is it? Not koala bear. Panda bear. The panda bear eats bamboo. So basically, if you walk past the panda bear now and you've got trousers on and a t-shirt made of bamboo, it's just going to see a tree, isn't it? Not going to see a human anymore. It doesn't seem like a good idea. I mean, you might argue, yeah, but how often do you see a panda bear walking down the street? Fair enough, that definitely is an argument on there. And yeah, I've never have seen a panda bear yet. But wouldn't it be just your luck, you know? You decide to kit yourself up in a new bamboo suit turn a corner and there's Mr. Panda, minding his own business. Suddenly feels peckish. No, gotta be careful. I've never even heard of that before. Bamboo being used for clothes. Anyone else? Some underwear is made from modal. Never heard of that before. A material made from beech leaves. Beech leaves? Well, I suppose if it's shredded and tied together correctly, I suppose it doesn't really matter what you use. You could use paper, couldn't you? You could use wiring. You could copper wiring, I suppose, if you wanted to. I'm not sure how that would work, but underwear with silver threads helps reduce odour. Now you tell me, why do I have to wait till I'm 54 before I learn about this? Underwear with silver threads. Can you hear that? There's someone shouting in the garden. Bless them. Silver threads. I wonder what that's about. I mean, I understand that maybe silver threads it'd keep away vampires, wouldn't it? Well, at least the vampires wouldn't bite you down there. In fact, that'd be quite good for vampires, wouldn't it? No, not for vampires, but for people. Have silver threads in all your clothing, and you could walk around at night and have no problems, no vampires. And you might argue, well, when's the last time you saw a vampire? You don't have to be so combative with me. You don't have to try and always argue. Just let's just chill out and move through to the next one. The elastic waistband was invented in the 1930s. Elastic waistband. So how was it kept in? I mean, how did they keep up before? Because I've had underwear in the past where the elastic band, the waistband has snapped or just loosened to the point of no return. That's just basically wearing underpants and putting on weight and not accepting the fact that I was getting bigger. And then they just stop working, the elastic, and they do fall down. Maybe not all the way down. I walk home and take my trousers off and my underpants are on my ankles. But it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. Or every time I take my trousers off, the underpants fall down with me, or with the trousers, which can be a bit annoying, especially when you're trying to change in public. It's okay, if let's say you're on a train and you're on the railway, whatever bit, waiting for a train on the, what do you call it? I don't know, the bit of concrete that you're waiting on for a train for in the station. And Vinny, can you make a bit more noise, please? Thanks. Sometimes you need to change your trousers, don't you? But my theory is, well, as long as your underpants are on, you're not really causing a kerfuffle. It's not really it's not really exhibitionism, is it, if you've got your underpants on? That's why if if you decide, if you plan to change your trousers and take them off in a public space, make sure that there's elastic in your underwear. Otherwise, you can get accused of inappropriate behaviour. Tagless underwear was first. Sorry, I just made myself laugh. Tagless underwear was first mass-produced in the 2000s. What does that even mean? Tagless underwear. What's tagless underwear? Oh, underwear without tags on. That thing at the back, which is uncomfortable and scratchy. Yeah, I never understood why they had tags on to start with. Have tags on the outside. No one can see the outside. Unless, of course, you're walking around with your trousers or your jeans hanging down to your knees, which just looks... See, even when I was young, I don't know if I could have done that. Even if it was the only way to get noticed by a female is to walk around with my underpants showing and literally having to keep pulling up my trousers or my jeans because they were constantly falling down, and I could never run because they would fall down to my knees or to my ankles and I'd trip up and hurt my knee. And even if that was going to get me female attention, back when I was younger, I still don't think I would have done it because it's just too impractical. First of all, I don't want to put yourself in a position where your trousers are falling down. Just generally, it's you can't. It puts you at I don't know, just doesn't seem the ideal situation. And also, in reality, me showing my underpants to anyone was never going to get me a girlfriend. I mean, the only person that's ever seen my underpants was my laundrette lady. Back when I used to go to a laundrette. And even it took a few years for her to start actually, before she could even look me in the eyes, a couple of years. And we became good friends. Well, friendly, eventually, but I think she felt like she knew me. And the thing is, it was... No amount of money was worth what she had to do. Cleaning my underpants. It was just cleaning anybody's underpants, to be fair. Vinny, can you come over and just stick your bum near me? Oh, thanks. Lovely. Cheers. He's a strange one. He's not eating his dinner again. Hasn't eaten his dinner all day. I don't know what's going on with him. You haven't eaten your dinner, have you, Vin? No, and now he's standing on the settee. He's got his tail sticking up in the air and he's listening. His ears are pricked up and he's listening for something. I don't know quite what. And now he's trying to stand on my laptop. Don't stand on my laptop, Vinny. No. Don't be doing that. That's naughty. That's naughty. Or as my nanny Newland used to say, Bernie, Bernie. She used to say that to us. It was her thing. She said to all the grandkids, Bernie, as in like, don't go near it because it will burn you. Which is a apparently, it worked when they had open fires back in, when she was younger. And she did it with her kids. So whenever when they went near the open fire, she'd shout, "Bernie!" And as in burn, not Bernie as in a boy's name. And then it got, she thought, "Oh, is this successful? I'll start using it for other stuff." So she started using it for different things. Like, be careful on your bike. Be careful, don't run too fast. Bernie. And she did it with us as well. And it was weird. The last time she did it with me was, 42? It's like, "Bernie!" And she would literally just shout it out. Like, what are you doing then? This is really weird. In public as well. It was funny. I used to go visit her and I said, "How you doing then?" She said, "Oh, I'm anyhow. I'm anyhow, Like, I'm any which way, I'm anyhow." So basically I had no idea what it meant. I just nodded, hoping it should hurry up and make me a cup of tea. "Yes, I did, Vinny, didn't I? Because I was a naughty boy. I just wanted tea and cakes. Tea and cakes all the time. Nanny Newland used to make me tea and cakes every day." Not every day, but when I visited. "Tea and cakes, tea and cakes." Or later on it became tea and biscuits. But I would still eat lots and lots of biscuits. Didn't we, Vinny? Didn't we? Well, I did. Don't know about you. You'd have eaten them as well, wouldn't you? Because you like biscuits. And I think you'd have loved the cakes. Can you hear him? He's making lots of... What are you doing? What are you doing? It doesn't normally interrupt me when I make a recording. Do you, Vinny? Don't normally. But he hasn't eaten his dinner at all today. A lot of noise in the garden today. Right, just let me do this, Vinny. Give me a little bit of space. So I can do this recording. Thank you. No, don't stand on my laptop. No. I don't want you standing on my laptop. Stop it. Oh, now he's taking me off the page. Stop it. If I wanted him to sit here with me, he wouldn't. It's not that I don't want him to. I just don't want him sitting on the laptop, that's all. Not too much to ask, is it? Is it really? Ooh, look at this. The elastic waistband was invented in the 1930s. Boxer briefs were invented by John Varvatos at Calvin Klein in 1992. Really? That's not true. Boxer briefs. I had boxers in the late 80s. So that's not true at all. It's made by Calvin Klein. Boxer briefs. Boxer shorts, which we used for underwear, were around long before the 90s, so I don't know quite. Maybe they're talking about actual underwear. But that was underwear, because I used to use it. I liked it because it was everything kind of was just loose. Seamless underwear is created with a circular knitting machine. I don't know why I needed to know that. There are moisture wicked. There are moisture wicking underpants made just for athletes. Well, that'd be nice to know about that. I didn't know that. Because I remember I did, back in about 2006, probably 2006, maybe 2005, 2006, I cycled to work. It was a 50-minute walk, so I got myself a bicycle, and decided to, cycle to work. I thought, I'll do that. Not ideal, a lot of traffic. Roads aren't really built for cyclists in this country, apart from the ones that are. And I'd get to work and it was a puddle down there, mainly sweat. And apparently, because in the winter, I'm trying to how to say it. I got called into the office and they said, can I please stop putting my underwear on the radiator? Okay. I didn't get sacked, didn't get a disciplinary. It's just, in fact, they weren't even surprised that I was doing it. Makes me wonder what they thought of me. But yeah, I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? There's a puddle down there. So I used to take a spare pair of underpants. And they said also, I said, well, I've got spare underpants. They said, well, change into your spare underpants. I said, I do. He said, no, I mean change into spare underpants in the toilet, not in the office. Okay. So I really felt like I was being picked on. So you want me to stop cutting my toenails at the desk as well? Yeah, can't do anything right. Silk underwear is prized for being breathable and pricey. I've never had silk underwear. I've seen silk underwear. Yes, I've sniffed silk underwear. That sounds wrong. No, I mean I've looked at silk underwear and felt it because it feels nice, doesn't it, on your skin. I'm just saying I've actually been in a shop and touched silk fabric. That's what I'm saying. And okay, got kicked out for rubbing it over my face, but it was on a hanger. It's on a hanger. If you notice that there's always a sign or like a notice on the package of underwear, you are not allowed to return this. Doesn't seem fair, does it? You can return dresses, you can return pretty much anything else, but not underwear. Because, I know some people, they go out for a night out and they'll buy pretty much the whole costume for the night, everything they need, and then I'll just return it on the Monday. So they've had a night out, they've had all new clothes, and then... But it just feels wrong if you haven't got underwear as well. It just feels like it's something missing, to not be able to get your money back for that. And also, they like you to read the label. They don't like you just to walk in and hand them your underwear and say, I'd like a refund, please. It doesn't go down well. I used to have silk shirts. Oh, lovely. I might try and get some silk pyjamas. And when I say silk, I'm talking about cheap silk, not proper silk. £10 or £20 for some pyjamas. It's not going to be, £25 or something like that. I'm not the Queen. In Japan, used underwear vending machines exist. I won't. I can't comment on that. Other than I'd like to visit Japan. It's not related to that. It's just suddenly had the urge. I know. Used used underwear machine, vending machine. It just makes you wonder, where would they put it? Because it's not going to be. Where would they have it? In a mall? In a supermarket entrance? I don't know. Where would they have a machine full of this multicoloured fabric? I don't know. Wow, okay. Apparently it's rare now, but it is true, but it's quite rare. Oh, I'll find them. In Italy, wearing red underwear on New Year's Eve is good luck. Okay. No idea how that works out, but hey, good for them. Brazilians wear new underwear at the turn of the year for prosperity. Okay. I mean, yeah. I heard there was this DJ that used to talk about how he never wore the same pair of underpants twice. That'd be quite expensive unless you got really cheap underwear. I mean, he was earning quite a good money, I imagine, but even then, it's it's an expensive hobby, isn't it? Soiling yourself. It's not. It's an expensive hobby. I don't know why. I mean, perhaps he just didn't want to do his own washing. That could be it, couldn't it? It's like chucking away plates. Do you know I did that once? This is totally true. I went through a period. This is true. I can't believe it. Wow, I forgot about this. I went through a period where I bought plates and dishes, bowls and plates, and plastic cutlery, but the rest were like cardboard, hard cardboard, the kind of thing that you do wee-wees in hospital, that kind of texture, and or buffets. Not doing wee-wees in buffets, but on food and stuff. And I got loads of these, and that's all I used. I didn't do any washing up for about 2 or 3 months. I don't know what was going on in my head at the time, but that was my new thing back then. And I'd have my breakfast cereal out of the bowl. I'd have, yeah, everything was, and I just put it in the recycling. That was years ago, probably 7 years ago. I could probably find out if I went on Amazon to find, because that's where I get most of my stuff, unless I got it from a supermarket, which is possible. I've got a mild memory of maybe walking into Iceland, the shop, and buying this stuff, because it was all kind of stuff for parties, really, and then getting it delivered. So yeah, I've got a mild memory of that. In South Korea, parents traditionally give new underwear to their children for exams. Before or afterwards? Before the exam or after the exam? Somebody change into when you're finished. I don't know. It's nice, isn't it? Some cultures bury people with their best underwear on. I don't know. I mean, yeah, cool. I suppose. I mean, you're not going to bury them with used underwear, are you? I mean, some would argue it doesn't matter, but yeah, it kind of, you know. In Iran, buying women's underwear is legally gender restricted. Shall I shout out the window? Please, can you make a bit more noise? Can't quite. You're not quite destroying my recording. Thanks. That tree's not blocking any. Well, the tree's not there anymore. They basically cut down the tree, so it's not. It's just above the fence, and it's just a stub. It's a nub. It used to block out a little bit of the sound. Probably 50%. Now it's just. I'm not moaning though. Of course not. In Latin cultures, yellow underwear is believed to bring wealth. Wow. Well, I'd be rich. I'd say the front of my underwear's often yellow. So that'd be, yeah, hasn't brought me any wealth. Perhaps I need to move to a Latin culture. Thongs, I love that word, thong. Thongs were originally invented for male dancers in Rio. How nice. The term going commando comes from military slang. So going commando, if you don't know, means not wearing any underpants. The average American owns around 20 pairs of underwear. I think I probably own about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 10, I think. Weird and funny facts. There's a museum in Brussels dedicated to underwear art. Yeah, okay. Some people collect vintage underwear. It's a niche but real market. Vintage underwear. In the 1950s, men's briefs were nicknamed tighty whities. Is it true? Don't know. Queen Victoria's underwear once sold at an auction for over £6,000. But then Queen Victoria, you know, a handkerchief, socks, probably a toilet roll holder or anything would probably be worth some money because she's a really famous queen, wasn't she? There are edible underwear products, mostly novelty items. Mostly novelty items. What else would they be, if not novelty items? I had a girlfriend once who had edible underwear, and it's like, it was on the floor, and I thought, oh, I'll have this. But it was alright. And I said to her, that edible underwear, I didn't know you could get it with chocolate included in it. Sorry. Oh. Oh, I think it's just what you call being very childish. There are, you can buy underwear subscriptions like socks or wine like socks or wine clubs. So you can join a club that sells underwear and have a subscription. So they send you a magazine and you just look through the latest underwear and have meetings and regular yearly Christmas bashes and stuff. I don't know. The world's largest pair of underwear measured 18 metres wide. There was actually a bloke that lived around over the fence when I moved in here, and everyone called him Pants. And I didn't know why they called him Pants. I just called him Pence. Unfortunately, we weren't supposed to say it to his face. I didn't know that. I thought that was actually his name. And so I'd say, "Morning, Pence," and he'd look at me like, "Huh?" I didn't know why they called him Pence. Well, it turned out that it was because one day he had his underpants on the washing line, and everyone in the area noticed them. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to say what they noticed, but they noticed the pants. So from then on, he was called Pants. That was his nickname. It's very childish. A Japanese company made underwear that plays music. Why? 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 I don't know. I can't get it. I don't. Why? Why would you want underwear to play music? Please release me. Let me go. I don't know. And there's got to be some songs that would be perfect for that. NASA, Japanese. They've got some quite unusual ideas, haven't they, when it comes to underwear. NASA designs space underwear that prevents bacterial growth. Again, why do astronauts get it? Why can't I have some of them? I mean, there was times when I'd open my underwear drawer and it looked like a mushroom farm. There are period-proof panties designed to replace pads and tampons. Why does that always have to creep in? Hey? Can't we just forget that I'm a bloke. I pretend that doesn't happen. Why have you got... I never understood why that wasn't a thing anyway. Just generally. Just for everyone. Just like have underpants that were kind of useful other than just there. Instead of just being like a thin barrier between pretend and reality, I kind of like to think. So pretending that we're all clean and walking around and perfect, and reality when actually there's might be stuff going on there behind the scenes, behind the curtains. Oh, that's no, not, when I say curtains, I mean inside your pants. No, that's not what I meant. Okay, moving on. Oh, blimey. But it seems like that's a really good idea. I don't know why that wasn't invented before. Great idea. Experts recommend changing underwear daily. Experts think they know everything. Who changes underwear daily? I mean, at the most, yeah, maybe rotate. So if you're going through a month, you can get by on 3 pairs of underpants. Because if you just air them out, it takes most of the stink away. Wow. About 45% of men admit to wearing the same pair for more than one day. Why did they ask women the same question? Why do men have to admit to stuff like that? Stop it, men. Stop it. Say, the thing is, why would anyone admit to that? If someone walked up to you in the street doing a survey, hello, we're doing a survey on disgusting behaviour, disgusting hygienic behaviour. So, how often do you change your underpants? You'd think that at least 100% of people would say every day. Maybe a couple of people for a joke would say, once a year or something silly like that. But 45% said they don't change it every day. That seems like a bit too high. Not too high for it really happening, but too high for people to admit it. That's what I'm thinking. You should replace your underwear every 6 to 12 months. Make their mind up. They're saying every day. Now they're saying every 6 to 12 months. Washing underwear in hot water helps kill bacteria. Really? Oh, didn't know that. Oh. It's almost like it's turned into some kind of educational thing. Oh, like, yeah, we know hot water. Most people don't wash a new underwear before wearing it, but should. Okay, I've done that. Every time. I've never washed new underwear before wearing it. I don't think. No, I don't think I ever have. Didn't know we were supposed to. Learn something new every day, as they say. As my nan used to say. In between I'm feeling anyhow and Bernie. Underwear is the most frequently stolen clothing item from laundromats. That is absolutely... That's blown my mind. Really? The most frequently stolen clothing item from laundrettes, we call them laundrettes here, is underwear. No. Why? Why? I've never looked in someone's tumble dryer, because, you know, people have a tendency, they do the washing and they put it in a tumble dryer and then they'll perhaps wander off for 10 minutes. I've never looked at the big windows, seeing the stuff rolling around and thinking, if I was going to steal something, it'd be the underwear. That wouldn't be the first thing I'd steal. Because, well, firstly, I don't want to wear someone else's underwear, even if it's clean. Even if it's clean. I'm not saying that I'd consider it if it was dirty either. I'm saying I wouldn't. I just don't know. No thanks. There's a reason why you don't go into a second-hand shop or a charity shop and see underwear for sale. Used underwear, because people don't buy used underwear, apart from those that do, and it's a speciality thing, and I don't think it's for wearing. You can freeze underwear to kill germs, but maybe just wash them. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't think sticking them in the freezer every day overnight is going to really do the trick, because, I mean, it might kill germs, but it's still going to... Yeah, no. And the freezer's where we put food, isn't it? And hitchhikers. No, food. It's freezers where we put... They don't put underwear in there. Dryers can damage elastic in underwear over time. That makes sense. So can expanding bellies like mine. Some detergent brands now sell formulas just for delicates. God, that was the most boring one of all of them. Air dryer is best for extending your pants lifestyle. Air drying. Air drying? Oh, you mean just hanging stuff up? Okay. So, psychological and fashion insights. Wearing matching underwear can boost confidence. Okay. What do they mean by matching underwear? So your socks have also got stains on, is that what they mean? I don't know, what do they mean? Many people socks have also got skid marks. But that would be a good place to have skid marks, because we do skid when we walk, don't we? If we run and stop, we skid. So that would be the obvious place to call a stain on the bottom of a sock a skid mark, wouldn't it? Many people buy nice underwear for themselves, not others. Never, ever, I don't think, bought underwear for another person where it was well received. I don't, yeah. No. I don't think. Yeah, I bought lingerie once, but my dad didn't like it. I think I was gonna buy it. I might have bought a pet. I don't know. I remember I figured this thing out years ago when I was in my 20s. I came back late from work, from lunch. I was about 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late, and the supervisor was waiting at the door, waiting at the entrance for me. "Oi, Newland, why are you late?" I said, "Sorry, Arthur. I got caught up. I was in the shop trying to look for something. I was looking to, get your birthday present." And he just looked at me like, because it was his birthday coming up, I think in 2 days' time, and he didn't know what to do with that, because we were kind of. He didn't know, and he just he just walked away. And then because I told him I was going to get him a birthday present, I got to work 2 days later, and he said, "Where's my present?" And I thought, oh, I said, "Oh, you get it in a minute. I'm just going to pop downstairs and get a coffee." And I gave him some underpants. But yeah, anyway, that job didn't last too long. Red underwear is often associated with passion or confidence. I think that's just, is it? Is it really? Is it? I don't know. You see that in movies and stuff, don't you? Red underwear. I don't know. It could also be classed as like associated with an injury, couldn't it? But yeah, I don't know. Some people wear specific colours of underwear for luck or job interviews. I do. I do wear a specific type of underwear. What? So you could say a colour of underwear for job interviews. Clean underwear. Yeah, that is definitely a time. You don't want to go in. You don't. The things you don't want to take into a job interview is a nasty smell. You don't want to take that into the room. And it's not just like an odour from dirty underwear. It's not just that, but any kind of nasty smell. Like, you can't walk in and start eating a KFC out of a bucket. Like, starting eating that just doesn't go down well in a job interview. I remember there was this. Don't tell jokes as well. It doesn't always go down well. I had a job interview for this residential home, and generally thought I'd be quite good at looking after people, and because I know I come across maybe a bit. I don't know. Maybe I don't come across quite as gentle as I am, but I'm quite. I think I can be quite kind of nice person. I think sometimes, and I've always, not always, but generally quite like elderly people. Got on with them, got respect for them, and it's probably mainly due to my nan and granddad. I respected my granddad. Didn't get on well with him. Had 2 conversations, but my nan, she was amazing. So I had this job interview. This was, I think, it's about 15 years ago. It was going all so well. As you said, you seem like the perfect candidate. You're at university studying counselling, so you clearly, aiming to help people. Because this was going to be a part-time job. It was at weekends while I was at university. And it came to the end, right, the last 2 questions, like, what are you, what, instead of saying what are you good at and what are you bad at, which I've had in interviews, and that's going to be a bit of a shock, like, okay, I've got to think of something I'm bad at, and, you know, what are you good at, what's your skills, what's your faults. In the past, I've sort of said, yeah, well, I'm a thief. Again, that time they laughed. I was being honest, but they laughed, so that was okay. But this time they said, what did they say? Something about what are you looking forward to in this job, and what are you not looking forward to in this job? And I thought that's a hard one to answer, really, because I've got to be almost talk negatively about what I'm not looking forward to, working with elderly people in the home, and I wanted to sort of make a joke, but I thought I can't do it on the negative one. So I said, well, the thing that I'm not looking forward to is possibly getting too attached to the patients or to the residents, because of this part of the job is it's going to be difficult when they move out or leave. And she looked at me, the lady looked at me with like, almost I felt like she was proud of me. Like she really felt that we connected. It's kind of like, yeah. She kind of gave me that invisible look. Well, not an invisible look, but almost like, you are the perfect candidate for this job. No one else has ever been as good as you. Yeah, maybe I was overthinking it and patting myself on the back too hard. And then she said, well, that's really good. That's very thoughtful, and considering we didn't give you any time to really think it through, it sounded very honest and sincere. I said, well, thank you. I said, well, I am, really close to my nan. Or I was really close to my nan. But no, at the time my nan was still around, so I'm very close to my nan, have been for a long time, and she's the most important person in my life, so I've got deep respect for her, and also for elderly people, for what they've been through, and the life experiences that they have, the wisdom that they have, and quite often the positive attitude that they have. And even ones that moan I find funny, because it's just kind of, it's a win-win. And she said, okay, so you talked about what you don't like, what you're not looking forward to. What's the thing that most excites you about this job? What's the thing you're most looking forward to in this job? And I thought, straight away I just shouted out, bath time! It's just a joke. It's like, bath time, that's what I'm looking forward to, bath time. No, it got nothing, just a look at me. And the other two people in the room as well were just looking at me like, what? He said, what did you say? I said, bath time? And no. And the old thing when they said, have you got any questions? And me saying, yeah, when do I start? That didn't even get a laugh either. And I just left, and nothing came of it. I should have worn clean underwear though. I think that would have maybe swayed it a bit better in my favour. Try not to fart during interviews. That's one of the things. Don't teach you that in school, do they? Try not to fart. And just generally try not to fart anyway, really. But it's a hard one, isn't it? Because farting is so much fun. It sounds funny. It smells. Doesn't smell funny, but it's it's just a funny thing. Farting. The word fart is funny. If you're 5 years old, I suppose. But hey. Oh, lucky underwear is a real psychological phenomenon. Well, yeah, in a sense of if you feel positive and because of a thing that you're wearing, whether it's a rabbit's tail sticking out your bum, or if you've got your lucky nipple rings, or your lucky hat, or perhaps you're carrying around your lucky toaster, into the job interview with you, which would be weird. Anyone for toast? It would be. It's if it gives you confidence and you believe that it's going to give you luck, then kind of will in a way, because it'll increase your performance. It'll improve your performance if you believe that ritualistic thing is going to help. If you really believe it. So that's the psychology behind that, I do believe. According to this, your underwear drawer says more about you than your sock drawer, apparently. I mean, technically socks are underwear as well, aren't they? Don't mean to be pedantic, but I wonder what my sock drawer says about me, other than, ugh. Designer underwear can cost over £100 per pair. I don't think my entire wardrobe costs more than £100. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not. Some people use underwear as secret protest symbols. What is the point in that? Sorry. How can there be a secret protest? So if you're protesting against something and you're doing it inside your underpants, it's not really a protest, is it? I mean, there's subtle and there's pointless. It's two very different things. I mean, you're going to stand with a bunch of people with placards and just have that same logo on your underpants, but no one can see it, but you're going to feel good inside because you're also protesting. Secretly. Come on. I don't think that would have worked with some of the big events that have been, big historical events that have been affected by protests. If everyone just walked around with underwear saying what they wanted, clean underpants matter or whatever, I don't know, just it wouldn't work, would it? It just wouldn't. It wouldn't seem. Maybe just oil protesters, they wear orange underpants. So they quite like that orange stuff, don't they, that they paint on things. So maybe they wear orange underpants. So if you meet someone that's got orange underpants, beware. They might be a just oil protector, or protester rather. And even worse than that, they might care about the world. Damn them. Wearing old underwear can actually... Really? So, wearing old underwear is not always a good thing, apparently. Men's briefs were inspired by swimming trunks in the 1930s. What did men wear before? The thong became popularised by men in Europe before women. I thought the thong was only for men. Boxer briefs are the most popular men's underwear in the UK and US. I wear kind of boxer shorts, but they're kind of a mixture. It's kind of, there's a safety net there, but it's like free hanging, but with a safety net. So it's kind of, it's not all just dangling, but they anyway, don't worry about it. The boys' short, the boys' short was modelled after men's boxers. I've got no idea what that is. Push-up underwear exists for both men and women. Push-up underwear? Why would women want push-up underwear? Why would men want it, but women pushing what up? Are we including bras in this? Okay. Well, I have worn a few bras over the years because again, it just popped out of my mouth. No, I mean, women began wearing bikini-style underwear in the 1950s. I thought it was the other way around. I thought they started wearing bikinis in the style of underwear. Like, they started going on the beaches almost like they had their underwear on, instead of one big, long swim costume that covered everything. And I do believe I'm correct on that one. So it's more underwear-style bikinis, not bikini-style underwear. But they might have also worn bikini-style underwear. Okay, I understood what I meant. Men's underwear often have a fly, but only 13% of men use it. Yeah, I used to, when I was a kid. I don't have a fly on mine anyway. I think it might have a fly, but there might be buttons. I can't remember. I'd have to have a look. But yeah, I'll just pop it over, pop it over the fence. Let it just have a look over the fence and do it that way. Maternity underwear has expandable panels to grow with the belly. Cool. I could have done with some of that. Some male underwear was built-in ball pouch. Okay, if I can say this out. Some male underwear has built-in ball pouches for support. Okay, fair enough. Like a squirrel's cheeks. I don't know. Lace thongs outsell traditional briefs in many women's lingerie stores. Okay. Women buy 70% of all men's underwear. I mean, I suppose if I was in a relationship with a lady and she wanted to buy me underwear that she liked to see me in, I can't imagine anyone wanted to see me in underwear. Well, or without underwear, but I can't imagine anyone like thinking. I just don't imagine anyone thinking. Look, being in a shop, looking at men's underwear and thinking, and seeing me walk past and thinking, they look really good on him. I don't see that unless you're in a kind of a tent shop, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I'd go along with it, but I don't like tight. I don't like, not tights. I don't like, tights are great. I don't like tight underwear. I like to have a bit of movement. I don't like everything squashed. So I was never a big fan of that kind of underwear. That's why I like boxers, because things are not squashed. Just a preference, isn't it? Valentine's Day is the biggest underwear shopping time after Christmas. I don't know, sometimes I go underwear shopping on Valentine's Day, but generally not. I don't know. I'm not really. I'm not sure if the shops are busier. Maybe. I mean, it might be different. Maybe. I don't know. I suppose I still go underwear shopping on Valentine's Day even if I had a girlfriend, I suppose. The average woman owns 21 pairs of underwear. So that's one pair more than men. Men are less likely to replace their underwear. Some wait years. They're really having a go at men here, aren't they? The most returned item in clothing store is underwear. No. It says on the packet, no returning. So that's just, in this country, you cannot return underwear. You can't return underpants. They don't want it. It's literally on the packet. You cannot return this product once you bought it. And if you do return it, don't walk in wearing it. Don't walk up to the counter. Look, it's too squashy. And take them off in front of them and hand it to them. Look, you can't do that. That's just weird. The colour black is the most popular in both genders. The most expensive underwear ever made was encrusted in diamonds. I've had a few pairs of underwear encrusted, but not in diamonds. Oh dear. You can buy underwear insurance. What? Underwear insurance. Now, I understand that, I suppose, if you've got one covered in diamonds. How comfortable is that, really? I don't know. Diamonds? It doesn't seem like something I'd want to be sitting on. Underwear insurance. Okay, fair enough. Seems a little strange to me, but most things do. Some brands now offer gender-neutral underwear. Cool. I mean, boxer shorts, what does it really matter? Bras as well, don't matter, does it? Man or woman, just it's a bra, isn't it? As long as it fits and it's comfortable. Tight underwear. Okay, this is Science and Health, so I can't be bothered to read this out. Cotton is recommended for breathability. Synthetic underwear may trap moisture. I do know about that already. Sleeping without underwear can help your skin breathe. Yeah, that's quite nice. It's also nice just to have a break. Because I think sometimes, like, taking your bra off, it's like, it can be a nice release, like, oh, and it can be the same with underpants for men. Genuinely, literally, it's just can be just nice just to let everything just be where it wants to be, kind of. Dragging on the floor. Shapewear can restrict blood flow. Okay, so I don't know what shapewear is, but I imagine it's some kind of underwear that shapes your body, perhaps. Underwear with charcoal filters can help with flatulence. Charcoal filters. Now, that's a weird one, isn't it? Because if I think of charcoal filters and I think of a barbecue and charcoal and the colour that would look, and I think, how would you know if it's the charcoal or whether it's more than just a fart? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it works. Flatulence. It helps with flatulence. I don't know. I mean, charcoal and gas is usually quite a good combination for a barbecue, isn't it? Hmm. Thermal underwear retains body heat and regulates sweat. Why are you telling us that? What's that? That's just a fact about thermal underwear. Ah, did I ever tell you? Back in 1993, December, I was visiting a friend, and I've known this since 1988, and for some reason, we kind of hit it off extra specially. I had long hair, she liked my long hair, and just, I don't know, we just got on and she wanted me. And I decided to accept, to go along with it. I just thought, well, if it keeps her happy. And so the very first night that I stayed over hers, in her bedroom, I was on the right side of the bed. She was the left side of the bed. Not quite sure why, but... And I was getting undressed, and she decided for some reason to watch me. I'm like, okay, this is awkward. Because at the time I was working in a very cold environment, and it was winter as well. So I had my thermal underwear, but they were long johns. So I had normal underpants, then my thermal long johns, which basically covered my whole legs and up to, like basic like trousers really, but thermal. And then I had my jeans on top. So what I was trying to do is take my trousers or my jeans off and pull... Okay, let's be honest, I forgot I had them on. And I was like, okay, I thought I'd give her a little bit of a show, and I just undid my jeans and let them fall to the ground, and then I was standing there with my blue long johns, thermal long johns, and I think she's still laughing today. Seriously, apparently it wasn't the biggest aphrodisiac ever. I mean, she talked about it for years later, laughing at it, like, remember you and your long johns? Like, yeah. It's like, it was cold. It wasn't that cold. No one else wears long johns. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. You're telling me that the factory that produced these long johns created them just for me? A whole business was created just so I could have this pair of long johns? She didn't answer, but then she wasn't in the room. She was outside at the time. But I was pleased with my argument. She was busy going downstairs getting a yoghurt. She's going downstairs to get a spoon for the yoghurt that she asked me to hold. And there's a whole new story for that one as well, because I misunderstood what the yoghurt was for. And then she comes up and takes the yoghurt off me and starts eating it with a spoon. I didn't know she was going downstairs to get a spoon, you see. She just said, hold that yoghurt. I'm going to enjoy this. And she goes downstairs. And I thought, oh, brilliant. And anyway, I got that wrong. Underwear was once used as a form of currency in prisons. I just don't know what to make of that. I'm not sure. Some pets have doggy underwear for hygiene or heat control. Cool. Doggies can do anything they want. There's a Guinness World Record for fastest time to put on 10 pairs. That sounds like something that my friend would have. His name is Dean Gould, or his name is Dean Gould, and I was friends with him for years. I haven't seen him recently. But I want to see who holds that record. Oh, it's achieved by Nicholas Manning in 2023. Okay, fair enough. 13 seconds. A 2019 trend wearing underwear over clothes at festivals. Okay. That was a trend. I don't remember that, but then never been to a festival. Elvis Presley's underwear once sold for over $8,000 at an auction. Fair enough. And there's a professional sport called underwear run, popular in colleges. I don't really know what that is. Isn't that where people go to learn stuff? No, I'm talking about the underwear run. Some couples buy matching underwear to feel emotionally closer. Okay, if it works, it's good. There are now AI-generated underwear designs being tested. And apparently some monks wear only underwear as a form of spiritual discipline. In 2020, the UK government spent millions on disposable underwear. Okay. It's it's a weird one, isn't it? Underwear. Charcoal filtered underwear. I don't know about that one. That just seems a bit strange. And Elvis Presley, I mean, people are going to spend huge amounts of money on anything that he owned, wouldn't they? I'm not sure if underwear would be the first thing I'd look for, though. You know, if there was an auction for your favourite singer, and maybe they weren't around anymore, and there was an auction and all their belongings were kind of being sold off, and there was a catalogue maybe or a website and you're looking through it, I wouldn't go straight to the underwear section. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I'd get there eventually, maybe second, but not first. No, I wouldn't go straight there. Anyway, that seems to appear to be the end of this here recording. Q&A, not Q&A Friday, blimey. I'm in the wrong day, aren't I? This is Trivia Tuesday. So thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself because you do deserve to be happy. And be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. Lots of love. Bye.